Hello everyone, I'm Dan Stapleton, and this is my review in progress for Watch Dogs 2. Why is it a review in progress? Two reasons. One, I haven't quite finished the single-player campaign. It's a big game, trying to do as much as I can. By the time you watch this, I'll probably have finished. But the bigger problem is that right now the multiplayer features, or a lot of them, are disabled because Ubisoft has to fix them because they were causing major performance problems. Hopefully by the time you're watching this they will have fixed that too, but I can't verify that yet. Until I can, I'm going to have a temporary score on this thing, and I've still got to test out those multiplayer features in a way that is actually more comprehensive than what I've had a chance to do. So right now there's no invasions of your game or other people's games. You can't do the new bounty hunting stuff, which is really disappointing because that looks really cool. You can do co-op missions online still, but by and large the multiplayer stuff is not really working. So the good news is the single-player stuff is really good. I'm really enjoying this game, with some caveats there. I really like the city. It takes place in the Bay Area, which are born and raised, and it feels really recognizable. Like it's a very cool representation of this area. Snotty tech bros and all. So it's a really fun place to run around. There are great landmarks everywhere. You can run around the Golden Gate Bridge. That's pretty cool. And actually this area where we're running around in right now is right near where the IGN office is, which is right next to AT&T Park. And you'll see the park in a moment here. They didn't pay the Giants for their logo or anything, so it's kind of rebranded. But it's just a really cool area, and a very cool area to explore, to find a lot of these hidden environmental puzzle items. In this case, I'm trying to get an upgrade point using this scissor lift, which is a pretty handy thing. I don't know if there are a lot of these around in this area. I haven't noticed a lot in real life, but they're fairly prevalent in this game, and they can get you into hard to reach places. So that's one thing I'm really enjoying about this game is they have all of these puzzles in the environment that aren't just it's not just run and shoot and race and things like that. I've spent probably a good chunk of my time, maybe a third to maybe even half, doing puzzles instead of combat, which is neat. I mean, this is one style of puzzle where it's like, hey, we've hidden this goodie somewhere, and you have to figure out how to reach it using your hacking, using your drones, or just your parkour skills. So that's one style. There's also a power flow style thing where you're rotating nodes very similar to the first game that take place out in the world instead of on a separate screen, which is cool. And those puzzles can be pretty clever. And here I'm gonna use a drone to reach my goal here. And these drones are pretty cool. I mean they yeah, there's the unnecessary parkour. They are pretty cool because it gives you ways to not only explore small spaces and use the right tool for the right job, but it also lets you work on stealth a lot better because you can explore an area and hack things with that remotely without putting yourself in danger. And that's one of the emphases of this game is on stealth, which is cool. I like a good stealth game. It doesn't fully commit to it, it's not like a full-on Hitman game, but all of these levels, or almost all of them, take place out in the open world, and you can approach them from any direction you want. So you can just use your drone. You can there's a flying drone. You can fly it over, and I'll do that a little bit later. You can fly it over a hostile area and kind of map out what you're going to do, or just scan around looking for ways in. Quickly and easily using the drone, and I really like that system. Like it makes it feel versatile. So there's just a lot of interesting tools at your disposal for these kind of things, and this game makes very good use of them. But when I say it doesn't really commit to stealth, it doesn't reward you for successfully ghosting through an entire mission. Like if no one sees you and no alarms are set off, there's no additional reward, which is kind of disappointing because that's a more difficult way to play. And when I do that, I'd like to be rewarded or at least acknowledged. But it doesn't really do that. And now I'm just going to blow some stuff up because that's what you do in a game like this. Also, there's nothing like a hiding bodies or changing your costume to blend in. So it's kind of light stealth, but it's there a lot. So, and there's a lot of like distracting people. So here I'm going on a rampage, which being a Bay Area native felt a little weird to me because not only is Marcus not really the kind of character who would do this. Like he's really, this is a new character. I like him a lot better than Aiden Pierce, but he has kind of this conflict where he's not. He doesn't come across as a killer at all. He's not like Trevor Phillips from GTA or Michael DeSanta or Franklin. Like it's just not. It's not the same vibe, and it's weird for him to do this, and then in the next cutscene, he's happy-go-lucky hacker dude. It's just kind of a weird mismatch. So I actually haven't been doing a lot of really violent stuff. I've been kind of avoiding it as much as I can. Also, yeah, like this is the SFPD. Like that is a little awkward. I wish I didn't have to shoot them a bunch of times because they're generally nice people. But again, like trying to roleplay as a violent character like this. When I'm also being told he's not, he's kind of a cool guy. It's kind of a mismatch. It's not a huge thing. It's just like constantly thinking about that as every time I indulge in a violent impulse, or a bunch of missions kind of make you so. Or if you get caught and when you're trying to stealth it, you kind of have to go in guns blazing. Now. One of the other issues that you should be aware of is that this is on PS4. The performance is not great. I mean, it's generally fine. Like you can see here, it's running at 30 frames, no problem. But when you get in a car and really start moving fast through a dense area, it'll get kind of chunky. And there's that's kind of when you need the performance most in a lot of ways because you're trying to dodge things, and it's just not there. So that's the kind of thing that may improve in patches, or I actually haven't played yet on the PS4 Pro because I don't own one, but it might be worth holding off if you're sensitive to frame rate dips, because it gets it's in the 20s somewhere, maybe even a little lower at times, and sometimes even just walking around. So here I'm showing off one of the new hacking abilities. There's still no shooting while you drive, but you can do this kind of stuff while you drive and like force cars that are chasing you to turn when they don't want to turn. And it uses up your hacker juice, so you can't do it forever. But it's a really cool way of differentiating this game's car combat from every other GTA style game. So I like that quite a bit. And hacking in general feels more flexible. You have all these options, like this guy. I'm setting off his grenade here, but I could have called the cops on him, or sent a rival gang after him by manufacturing a reason for them to do that. There are just always options you can do, and not all of them are super useful. But like even like when you're opening a door, you can open the door or you can lock it, so no one can open it, temporarily at least. So there's a bunch of actually interesting decisions to decide how you're gonna use your hacking powers. Unlike the first game where it was mostly just, hey, push the button to hack, and it does one thing. So they've made a big improvement there. But yeah, so Marcus's personality is one thing that actually drives me toward playing stealthy. So it has that, but otherwise it doesn't really reward you. It's the whole hacking storyline is a little bit weird and petty. It comes across as kind of juvenile, and they've got this noble crusade to shut down the Big Brother corporation that's running CTOS, but they're doing it by being pretty obnoxious, and they put out their hacker anonymous style videos that are just not a great thing to watch. It's not that dense. It's just kind of sprinkled throughout the campaign and a little annoying. and at least the villain is menacing in kind of a tech bro sort of way. I kind of like him. I wish he had more screen time. And again, I'm not done with the campaign yet, so maybe he'll surprise me in the end. So here, this is just a random area, and these places are really scattered around, in pretty densely throughout the city. And here's that flying drone. So you can, and these all have, like right there has a money bag I can pick up. So like these all give you a little objective to just try when you're running around the city. And here I am calling a rival gang in to mess with them. So rather than, like, there are a bunch of different ways you can approach this. You can go in guns blazing. You can try and stealth it and just sneak past people. Maybe silently take a few of them down. But here, what I chose to do here is I call in a rival gang to distract them while I run in and grab the money, and that works really well. I mean, it's something you can totally cheese in a lot of cases because it takes a bunch of your hacker juice, but it recharges not super slowly. So you could just keep calling people in and to kill all these guys until they're all dead. So you can abuse it and make it less fun, but I really like being able to set the AI against other AI. The AI in this is actually pretty good about using cover and flanking. It's not really easy to go in shooting and just kill everything, especially since you can't really, again, you can't take a whole lot of damage. But that flexibility of the mission design, and this isn't a campaign mission, but the campaign missions work in a very similar way. You'll have like a facility you've got to break into and hack something. But in this case, it's just, well, you got to get. I realized a little bit later that you have to get on top of that shipping container there to get the money. So you'll watch me flail around here while I try to figure that out. Yeah, thanks for the unnecessary parkour there. But in general, again, I'm really enjoying this game. For the moment, while it has these problems with the multiplayer, I have to be pretty down on it score-wise. Like, if I had to score it now, I would give it a 6.5, just because things don't work like they should, and that's super disappointing. It needs, and performance is not really where it should be either. It just needs a little bit of tightening up, and then I can recommend it much more strongly. But like right now, I kind of, oh man, it breaks my heart to have to not recommend it as strongly as I'd like. But come back a little later, and I will have completed the campaign and hopefully we'll have tried the multiplayer more extensively, and that will be reflected in my final review. So please stick around and check out. We've got a bunch of Watch Dogs content. We'll have a bunch of guide stuff. We'll have a bunch of graphics comparison videos. You'll be able to see what it can do on the PS4 Pro, and just a bunch of fun videos of calling cops on people. So for all that and more, stick with IGN. Thanks, guys.